Alright, Diablo 4 players, let's talk about Vessel of Hatred launch problems and some fixes that I want to go ahead and highlight in this video. So, honestly, the launch of the expansion was quite rough. Right now, you guys are seeing mostly negative. Why is it mostly negative? Well, honestly, it's because people could not play the game that they actually purchased, and that's a big problem. It's not just the delay. So, for starters, there is a huge delay that actually started out when the game was supposed to launch at 4 p.m. Well, it didn't really happen until about like 9 p.m. So it was basically 5 hours behind. But it's not just that. It's not just that, oh, there's a delay, so that's why everyone is thumbs downing the game or giving it a bad review. Having a negative review obviously does matter a lot when you're launching a game. But it's also because people literally cannot play the game even still now, and I'll go over some solutions and some other bugs, glitches, and I'll tell you guys a thing to actually gain a huge advantage in the game. But for starters, let's go over some of the fixes. So for Xbox specifically, if you're unable to select the Spiritborn, because I had a couple people have this problem on console where they were unable to select their class. I had this issue because I couldn't even select the Spiritborn for some reason, even on PC, and I'm playing on the Battle.net. So what actually fixed the issue for me was just exiting that screen and going back in. But for console specifically, I want to go over how to fix this if you're unable to select the Spiritborn. So what you're going to do is you're going to search for Vessel of Hatred in the shop, and then there's an option that says that's a 10 megabyte file to download. Someone else also mentioned that if you go into Manage Game, Add-ons, and Install All, so basically you are missing some small little 10 megabyte update file. My guess is they couldn't fit in, is probably basically the pre-download, and then this is like some sort of verification key to go in, and for some reason they separated those because one was probably the pre-download. That's my honest guess here. But go to the shop, look for the extra add-ons and download the add-on. Hopefully that will fix your issue, but there's a couple other issues as well. If you're having issues on Steam being able to like play the game or even select the class, this is a pretty big issue, and I will link this down below because this actually has a link that you can click on over here. So if you purchase the game on Steam and are unable to access Vessel of Hatred, again, it goes back to why people are giving it a negative review, because honestly, is the game like a really bad, mostly negative game? No. It's what's happening right now is people are pretty mad, and I would say rightfully so. I expect the game to work if I buy the game day one, but the reality is that that's just modern gaming, right? Anyways, but you can reach out to the Blizzard CS and it will fix your issue, hopefully, with that link. And again, I will link all of the problems that I can link down below for the solutions. Another thing over here that is very important for anyone that is actually trying to make a very specific build, maybe you saw a cool content creators build that was running Azarath, well, it's not going to work. Sadly, I even had this item in a couple of my build guides too. This item is crazy good. But for now, guys, there are a few items that will not drop. This is the brand new mythic item. The Shroud of False Death is a super godly item. It's that chest piece that gives you +1 to all of your passives. Amazing item. It does not actually drop in the game. So basically, if you were running a build that ran either the Shroud of False Death or the Azarath, this though, honestly, I'm having my fingers crossed this does not get nerfed. This is one of the most godly things in the entire game. I'm not even kidding. It does more damage than the Undario build, which honestly it should not work that way. My guess it's probably unintended, but I'm just hoping that they don't nerf it. But this item is super good. If you happen to get an Azarath, maybe by the time this video is out, I guess this was technically 24 hours ago, but if they actually do reintroduce it in the game, do not salvage your Azarath. And most people would say, oh, this item's garbage, I had it like previous seasons. I get it, but this season it is so godly, unless again by the time they reintroduce it, if they nerf it, then obviously it's garbage. But again, do not salvage Azarath. Frostburn's also there, and there's also the aspect of the Agile Wolf, which is a druid aspect, so these will not actually drop in the game, so that kind of sucks, but that's the reality of it. Honestly, if you guys have any very specific solutions, because I had a couple people tell me about some sort of error code, and they're asking me if I know the solution for it. My biggest suggestion would be to look on the Battle.net forums and also checking out Reddit and type in the exact like error code or the wording that the error is, and hopefully that can kind of address some of the issues. But I'll link some of the other fixes down below. But one thing I do want to give Blizzard some credit to, because this was one of the biggest problems that I had, as well as all the other content creators that played in the early access, because I obviously had access to the game before it came out. However, my progress, just like everyone else's, did not get saved in the early access of the Spiritborn Vessel of Hatred, like streamer edition that a lot of the streamers had, and there's like a bunch of review copies that were out. This was huge. Basically, imprinting was so broken in terms of the cost that was required to actually go ahead and actually imprint on your aspects as well as masterworking. In my video, and you may have seen this in other content creators, they were saying, guys, do not just imprint. It's so incredibly rare to get the material. They have fixed this issue, so if you're progressing along the game, you can imprint. You can do that. It's totally fine. I was just warning you guys before, don't do this because basically you'd get to the end game and then you wouldn't have any of your aspects, which was terrible. That's why I was saying just keep some of the aspects that you had earlier on. But nonetheless, this has actually been fixed. So just wanted to let you guys know about that. Another thing that is very important that I want to go over, and I want to actually highlight this one over here, because we're looking at a bunch of other glitches and bugs that exist in the game. And this one is very, very important, okay, guys? So this person says, why can't I mark some items for junk instead my dude just dashes? So there is a really big glitch in the game where normally, you know how you I don't know what the default key that most people have, but I have it on space, and I would favorite an item, right? Maybe I get a really good item and I'm favoriting it so I don't accidentally salvage it. What will happen sometimes is that menu will go away and your character will just do a little dash because it's their little evade button, right? The default is space for most people. So what happens is you think that you favorited your item and then you go to salvage all and it salvages your mythic, your unique, whatever. So make 100% sure if you are salvaging, guys, that you actually see the little favorite item or put it in your stash. That's my best solution because for whatever reason, it will actually not favorite your item and you will accidentally lose out on your GG godly item. That's a very big thing that I really want to stress that is a bug, and this absolutely needs to be fixed because people are accidentally losing out on their best items. Another thing that is very important for anyone that's playing the builds with minions, so this could be the druid, technically the barbarian can also have minions, but it's mainly on the necromancer and the druid where we have these companions. There is a seller event where you would go in and they're like these little tiles that you would step on. You're supposed to match these little like symbols. You cannot do it because, well, your minions are just going to walk over and you're going to get pranked. So basically, you can either unequip your minions or more than likely what people are mostly going to do, because then you'd have to resummon your minion, which is kind of annoying because you have to obviously have a corpse or whatever. So the quick fix is just to remove your minions. The other fix is simply to just not engage in those sellers. Basically, you'd go down and you have to stand on these colors in the correct order. Don't try that with a minion because basically it's just not going to work. So hopefully this thing can be fixed. It's kind of a minor thing, but nonetheless, if you were doing it, you would just be super frustrated. There's also like a memory game that's pretty hard too. On those sellers, honestly, my suggestion for you guys would just be to skip them if you can't do them because you're just going to get frustrated. So a lot of people are also having some crash issues, and I want to just really quickly mention, always update your graphics drivers. However, I still had issues with the game. I actually crashed live on stream. So what I want to go ahead and just let you guys know is a lot of people are crashing too. It's not just you, so that way you can feel a little bit more comfortable that, certain things are happening to everyone. It's not just you at the moment. Another thing, this person's username, look at the character's name over here. But anyways, this person over here is having an issue where he has made a Spiritborn. You can see the character. Well, you can see the name right there. But you can see that it's a Spiritborn level 19, but he can't actually play. He can't start the game because it says he has to have the expansion. So one thing that fixed this issue for me, because I couldn't hit confirm when I was selecting the class, is just to exit that screen, just basically hit escape and go right back in. So hopefully that can fix it, or just turn it off and turn it back on. It's just RNG. It's probably some sort of verification, but the thing I think is so funny is he must have Vessel of Hatred to access the Spiritborn class, but he's already got the Spiritborn class, level 19 right here. So yeah, that's a really weird bug over there. Another weird bug that still is, unfortunately, in the game is if you are playing on hardcore, okay, this is very important, do not use Rahir. For some reason, and I actually mentioned this when I had the earlier access to the game, so like they know about this issue, but maybe it's something that's too difficult to be fixed. Your NPC, your mercenary, Rahir specifically can actually kill you. This happened more than once too. So for whatever reason, he is able to kill you. It's supposed to actually protect you from taking damage. I don't know what causes this, to be honest, but the mercenary, Rahir, in hardcore, do not play him. I know logically you'd think, oh, well, he gives me fortification, he can prevent me from dying. No. Well, probably partially true, but he can also sometimes eliminate you and one-shot you. This happened actually 2 times, so it's not just like some crazy anomaly. But nonetheless, do not use Rahir. Another thing that some people are mentioning is there's some sort of pH. What pH stands for, by the way, is placeholder. So if this happens, it's really not that big of a deal, though, but it's just something that, people are just mentioning over there. Another thing that I want to mention that is a bug, and I can actually tell you guys how to fix it. So one of the best mercenaries in the game is actually Subo. Subo has the ability to mark everything on the map. It'll show you the herbs, the iron ore, and it'll show you all the enemies. But sometimes you may notice that it just goes away completely. It usually is something that interacts with your mount. If you want to fix this bug and glitch, you can actually just go back into town and go back. Yeah, it kind of sucks because you're wasting like 2 loading screens to do it, but that's the only way that I figured out how to consistently fix it. Sometimes it'll just go right back, but this is definitely a bug. Another thing that I noticed, I'm not sure if I'm going to consider this a bug, but I'm going to give you guys a huge tip. Most of the runes that you get in the very beginning of the game, they absolutely suck. But tech is something that you can actually get pretty earlier on. And I don't know, for whatever reason, this thing does way more damage. Like, way more damage. They may nerf this, just take this with a grain of salt. If you can get the tech rune earlier on, this is 100% worth running. It is so good for damage that my guess is something is not just working correctly with the damage. So, that's just another bonus tip. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and wrap up the video. That's the launch, that's the bug, glitches, fixes, and some of the stuff that I want to go ahead and just kind of throw out there. As a Diablo partner, well, they do check our videos, so hopefully, Blizzard, if you can fix some of these issues, that'd be great. Some of these are technically known issues. Obviously, people aren't able to like log in with the Spiritborn. They probably know about it, but the more info that you can give them when you are submitting your report, and again, I'll have a couple links down below as far as like the link to go ahead and help out some of the players that may be stuck on those. So check the pin if you guys are having some of the issues, and if you guys know of any like fixes, if you guys had some issue and you did fix it, please let me know down below, so that way we can help everyone else out in the Diablo community. Anyways, that's gonna wrap up things. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here, subscribe, turn the bell if you want to see more content coming out very soon. But that's just the state of the game and the launch and why it's mostly negative, but there are some fixes, at least so far. Anyways, peace out, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one.